Welcome to a video tutorial from Valentia Photography Workshops and me, Stephen Power. This one is about increasing the Lightroom slider effects beyond minimum and maximum points. Hello and welcome to the first video tutorial from Valentia Photography Workshops for 2021. Thank you for coming back and joining me. Quite a lot's happened, as we know, to everybody, and some awful things have happened to some people. Hope you've managed to stay reasonably well and safe in 2020, and let's hope that 2021 is a better year for us all. In terms of business, it's been difficult for a lot of professional photographers, myself included, and I've did spend a lot of time previously teaching. I have a master's degree in education. I've been doing a lot of photography teaching, but that's gone by the way. Now I haven't really got into online classes yet, and I've certainly not had any individual or group teaching live, as it were, face to face, for nearly a year now. So I'm building up the website and the YouTube channel, of course, to try and encourage people to have a look at what I'm offering and build up the subscriptions that way. Still only just over 300. So if you would like to subscribe, please do so, and I'll keep putting new tutorials up on the channel. Also, another thing has happened this year to me very recently, in the last couple of weeks, is that I've moved house. I was based on Valentia Island in County Kerry in Ireland, and I've now moved all the way across the bridge from Valentia to the beautiful village of Portmagee, about 3.5 kilometres, and that's where I'll be based for the indefinite future now. So if you were looking for me on Facebook, the name of the teaching business now is Skellig Ring Photography Workshops rather than Valentia Photography Workshops. That's just to indicate that I've, gone slightly broader now with my area that I cover with the photography. So if people were to come here for a workshop, then it would cover the areas of Portmagee and Ballinskelligs and Valentia Island, generally the Skellig Ring, which is a beautiful area of South Kerry, just off the Ring of Kerry. So in this very short tutorial, I'm going to go into Lightroom and look at a little trick I found while I was editing some photographs that I took yesterday on a walk near my new home in Portmagee. And it's basically to look at how to increase the sliders that you're using in Lightroom when they're maxed out. So if you go to -100, how to get less than -100 from your slider, and if you go to 100 plus 100, how to get more than a plus 100 if you want to do that for various reasons. The reason I was doing it was to work on an image to create what's called a Faux HDR, false high dynamic range look. Now, high dynamic range is really a technique for increasing the range of tones and contrast in the image, and it can look almost like a 3D image, but it's done correctly when using more than one image, usually at least 3 exposed normally, and then underexposed and overexposed, but many photographers use 5 or 7 images to do that. But there is a way to fake it, and I was trying that with this particular picture I'll show you in Lightroom. But this tutorial is really about the little tip that I discovered in how to increase the sliders. And then if you leave me a comment below, if you want me to look at Faux HDR, I'll do that. Or in fact, if you want to look at how to create an HDR image, I'll do that as well. So I hope you enjoyed this quick tip. Welcome back, and here's to a better 2021. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom. This is Lightroom Classic. It's the most current version, but what I'm going to show you should work on any version of Lightroom Classic and probably Lightroom Mobile as well. So I was out for a walk. Here's an example of an image of a tree I did, which I've converted to black and white. But what I actually wanted to show you was this image of a tree. You know, it's a tree growing in an old stone cottage actually, and yes, it's quite nice. And but I thought I'd change it to a faux HDR image. So this is the image I created. Probably not quite finished yet, but I've enhanced the contrast and the tones and the colours just to give it a bit more boost, which is the sort of look, not exactly identical, but the sort of look you would get when creating a full high dynamic range image using several images at different exposures. So if we look over in the develop module, you can see that some of the sliders to create this effect have gone either to the -100, which is as far as it will go in terms of the highlights, and the shadows have gone to +100, which is as far as it will go, and the clarity has gone to +100. Now, if I wanted to add more clarity to this image, less highlights, for example, more shadows, it wouldn't be possible to do it here with these sliders because they've gone as far as they can go. However, if we are to use the graduated filter but not on the image, so rather than drag the filter or the tool, if you like, onto the image from the sides or the top or the bottom, then it will only affect that area, or about 2/3 of the area that we drag across. But if we start off the image, so I'm going to start on the right hand side here and then drag to the right, any changes that we make will affect the whole of the image. So you can see the shadows going up there, so the exposure going up. So all of the previous settings in the image have been are still there, are still fixed in. So now we're starting at 0, but we've already moved, for example, we've taken the highlights down to -100 in this image, and now we can, so we're starting at 0, so we're actually starting at -100, so now we're at -200 there. In terms of the clarity, we're increasing beyond where we were previously, and the shadow is the same. That was at +100 now, so we're effectively now at 170. So we're adding more of any of the controls than we had used previously, and even if we've gone to the maximum amount. Okay, so that's it really. It's very simple. So I hope you like this quick tip. Please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, let me know what you think of the videos. There's about 50, over 50 there now, and including tutorials and showing you some of the recent old cameras that I've been using, and also some videos of the area that I live in which you might find interesting. Leave me a comment about what I'm doing and if there's anything else you'd like me to do. Bye for now. I'll see you soon.